Hi, my name's Carson. I feel like I'm doing like a high school presentation. Hi, my name's Carson. This is my presentation. Well, we are officially done with harvest, and this past week we have been doing a lot of tillage, really trying to get up to speed with that, and we're basically caught up. It's actually kind of amazing. This is like the first time we've actually been caught up before it completely, freezes. But so today, not my tractor, the 8320R got left in my house because last night my brother used it to propose to his girlfriend. She said yes, but he left the tractor here, and so I gotta go take this back to the farm. And in order to get back to the farm, I gotta go through residential streets, in which one of them has two houses being constructed right next to each other, or renovated right next to each other, and all the construction equipment's out in the road. So I don't know if this thing will fit through or not. We're about to find out. I hope I don't have to fly drone today. I don't think I will, but just in case, I better plug my iPad in. Well, for the most part, we got everything back at the shop. I got the corn head taken off. We're washing this truck right now. My cousin's over there blowing out the 9870, and we're about to blow out the grain cart, which sounds like a very miserable job. So basically what's going to happen is, after my cousin over there gets done blowing off the combine, inside the gate, as you can see, there's a bunch of corn in here. We're going to get all the corn down in the bottom yager and then blow it out this way, so it'll come out the door over here, so that way we don't have a rotten mess in the grain cart come next fall. And that's the same reason we're blowing out the corn heads, the bean heads, and the combines, because we don't want all that grain collecting moisture over winter next summer and creating a moldy mess for, well, next fall. I'm assuming they start in the back and go work forward. Okay, nice talk.
What?
I'm assuming they start in the back and go forward.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's loud.
How much pressure does this thing have?
Oh, it doesn't blow you away, but it's got a lot of pressure.
Can I get some ear protection?
Yeah, dude, my ears are ringing bad.
That hurt really bad.
Everyone else doesn't care because my ears are like terrible right now.
I already can't hear anything.
You just sprayed for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know. It just like right back at you. Oh, that's gonna help so much.
You lucky dog.
Well, that wasn't that bad, but I was wrong about one thing. I said we're gonna have to push all the grain towards the front. Turns out there's these little doors underneath, which should give you access. We can just blow it all out through these little doors in the bottom. And also, I'll probably get some questions about what air compressor we're using. We're using whatever this thing is. Yeah. Even though we already blew out this grain cart, there's some crud at the front that we don't want to sit and create rust, so we're gonna pressure wash it off while we're at it. Yeah, so if you haven't been able to tell so far, after harvest is just a lot of maintenance, cleaning, just getting everything put away and get ready for winter. Well, sorry I haven't picked up the camera in a while. We've basically just been moving equipment around all day, but we have one farm left to veer up. So we're going back out the 9570 RT, and hopefully we can finish up tillage tonight. That is absolutely gorgeous. Man, sometimes it just keeps getting prettier. But upon popular commentary on the first video I did this tractor where I introduced it, I have the transmission, that's what it's called. I have the transmission set up in full automatic, as you can see here. So I have it set to 7 miles per hour and it keeps it right there. And it's supposed to help with fuel a lot, especially in heavy loads like a V-ripper. And then also, I have the iTech set up. So if I hit the iTech button, I have two things set up. I have one's called up and slow and down and fast. So what I do is, when I get to the end, I hit the 1 button and it raises up the V-ripper and slows the tractor down so I can turn around. And then once I get turned around, I hit the auto steer button and then I hit 2, and then it goes to down and fast, so it puts a ripper down, and once the ripper's down in the ground, it speeds the tractor up. I would get the auto steer set up too, so it turns itself around automatically and everything, but we don't have any field boundaries set up on this new monitor, so I can't do that, sadly. But it is kind of neat just getting to the end, hitting a button, and it does everything for you. You turn around, hit the other button, and you keep going. So as you see, I'm approaching the end, so I hit the 1 button, and it slows me down, raises the V-ripper. I can then turn around, watch my GPS, make sure I get in the right track. Hit the auto steer button, and once I get lined up, I hit 2, and lowers the V-ripper down, and once that's down on the ground, it speeds the tractor back up to 7 miles per hour. Pretty neat. It turns out the tractors have actually had these for a long time. It's just it's always been so hidden down the settings, I've never actually used it. Apparently most of our tractors, and maybe even our 9530T might have it too, I'm not for sure. But this is the first tractor that, it's out in the open, easy to see and easy to set up. So it's pretty neat, kind of like it. And once we get our boundaries set up, it'd be kind of nice to actually be able to use that GPS turnaround too. I think it'd be especially helpful in planting, because planting, especially in like our organic stuff, it's so crucial that our planter is straight when we start, when we put the planter down. If we're able to have it so it automatically turns around, it'll be perfectly straight every time. Well, enjoy the last few seconds of the sunset because it's dark over here. So at the current moment, this is the last farm we actually had to V-rip for corn tillage. It's about 153 acres. I've probably done 10 since I've gotten here, maybe, if that. And currently my uncle is at another farm with 9530T and the chisel plow, and he is doing the last of the soybean acres. So I'm gonna go here for a little bit, and my cousin's gonna take over. He's probably gonna go most of the night. And by early morning, we should be completely done with fall tillage, which is amazing, because very rarely does it seem like we get fall tillage done before the ground freezes. And we've gotten very lucky because we had quite a bit of snow there for a while, but it all melted and we had a really nice week. This whole week was in the 60s and 70s, and everything dried up and we're able to get going again. So very nice to have a nice warm week to get everything done that we need to get done before it gets cold and sloppy. Starting next week, so today for me is Saturday. Starting Tuesday is supposed to get really cold, but I really hope the snow and rain holds off for a while because we have a lot of tiling we need to do, and I like to bring you guys along for it because tiling is something that is just a lot of people don't understand, the importance of it and what it does. So I think that's something that I think would be really cool to bring you guys along on. I have done a couple in the past, but I haven't done any cold weather tiling videos. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you can stay tuned for that. Well, first impressions of the John Deere 9570 RT, coming from a 9530T and a Challenger 65E. The tractor's really quiet. I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone or not, but for a big horsepower tractor, it's very quiet. I absolutely love John Deere's new console here, control system. Really nice. I love this new screen. Having everything on one screen is absolutely amazing. As far as the E18 transmission goes, that's something that I kind of complained about in my first video that I did this tractor, but I kind of like it actually. I like the full auto, and if you're a person that's not a fan of the full auto or you don't trust it, it's just as easy to put it in a full manual mode and treat it just like a normal power shift. And we haven't been using the tractor for a really long time. The only problem that we've had with it so far is we had a depth sensor go out on it, and that's why it wasn't being run today. That's why we started so late, because they were out fixing the depth sensor. But as long as we can keep ahead of DEF and other emission problems, I think this will be a fantastic tractor. And you know what? It even comes with a handy dandy little phone holder so I can watch my Netflix. Well, now that we finished harvest and tillage, we decided to take the day off today. Today's Sunday. Get a little rest. So I decided that today would be a good day to tell you guys a little bit about myself, because I kind of realized that not many of you guys know much about me at all, other than the fact that I farm. So in a little bit here, I'm gonna head down to the shop because, well, yesterday my watch fell off when I was working on the combine, which I didn't get on camera. But my watch fell off and I put it on top of the skid steer and I drove the skid steer across the yard. So somewhere between the shed and where I parked the skid steer, I'm assuming there's a watch in the ground. Whether it got ran over after I dropped it, who knows? I might go find a shattered watch, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go find the watch. But first I'm gonna start off here. Hi, my name's Carson. I feel like I'm doing like a high school presentation. Hi, my name's Carson. This is my presentation. No, my name is Carson. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently a student at South Dakota State University, and the neighbor's dog is barking at me. Anyway, so other than the farming, one thing that I'm really into is I'm really into motorsports and basically anything with motors. So lots of you guys know that I have this car. This is my 2006 Cadillac STS. I have had a lot of comments about 19-year-old kid driving a Cadillac. Trust me, it was very cheap. It's 2006, it was wrecked in 2009 and got a rebuilt title. The guy rebuilt himself, he drove it for a while, and then the motor blew up and he put a used motor without knowing how many miles were on the motor in it. And then it went through a hailstorm and still has quite a bit of hail damage on it. And then I bought it for a little bit of nothing. And the reason I got it is because it's all-wheel drive and I go to school in South Dakota. But what many of you guys don't know is I actually have another car. So this is my 2002 Pontiac Bonneville. Once again, it's not a fancy car. It wasn't an expensive car. In fact, this car was barely any more than this car was. But this one's special to me for a couple reasons. First of all, my family's always had Pontiac Bonnevilles. My first car was a Pontiac Bonneville. My dad still has that and drives on the farm, has like 230,000 miles on it. And then in high school, I bought a pickup and then I sold the pickup after high school, yada, 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 normal farm kid things. But I always really liked the Bonneville. I always wanted the supercharged model because they made a supercharged model. So I was looking for like a year on Facebook trying to find a nice car, and I finally found one out of Texas, so no Minnesota rust, which is amazing. So I probably only put 1,000 miles on this car this summer because it's so nice for a 2002 Pontiac Bonneville that I'm afraid to drive it anywhere because 90% of the stuff that I do during the summer is driving down gravel roads, and I don't think this thing's ever seen a gravel road in its life. So I haven't driven a whole lot, but I still really like the car. It does need some stuff done. Roscoe! Sorry, neighbor's dog. It still does need some stuff done. I'm gonna work on it this winter a little bit. I'm gonna put a belt tensioner on it, spark plug wires, I'm gonna powder coat the brakes, maybe put a new stereo in it. So if that's something you guys wanna see this winter, comment down below, but if not, I'll just do it on my own. Because winter's quickly approaching, this will probably be the last good weekend, nice weekend out before it snows. I'm gonna drive it today, I'm gonna fill up with fuel and probably wash it on the way home, so let's go. So earlier in this video I mentioned I'm kind of a motorsports enthusiast. I'm definitely also an adrenaline junkie, I guess you could say. I like anything that gets my heart going. So during the summer I'm really big into water skiing and slalom skiing. Slalom skiing is water skiing but with only one ski. So you have both feet strapped onto one ski. You go in that 25 to 30 mile per hour range. I'm usually in the top end of that, the 28, 29 mile per hour range. And I really like it because it's a challenge to me every time I do it because I try to improve my technique to get that perfect carve. I've never done a slalom ski course. I would really like to, but no one in our league really sets one up. Jet skiing, same thing. I'm also really big into snowmobiling. Jet skiing is kind of the snowmobile of the summer. But my absolute favorite thing to do is snowmobile. I have a 2013 Polaris Pro Arm K600. I have the 600, not the 800. I have the small one. But even so, I think the reason I like snowmobiles so much is the power to weight ratio in those things is nuts. Even though I only have the 600, it's like a feeling that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, the 0 to 60 time on those is faster than almost every sports car you can think of. And usually a couple buddies and me, a couple buddies and I, sorry, every English teacher I ever had, a couple buddies and I usually go out west once a year to Wyoming and go mountain snowmobiling. And that is an absolute blast. There's nothing like going out in the mountains and being able to go places that you would never be able to go without a snowmobile. Now, snowmobiling is something that I would like to bring into the channel this winter. I don't know how much I'm gonna bring in. If I go on a trip, I'll definitely make a trip video. But if that's something you guys wanna see, let me know down in the comments below and hit the subscribe button. Well, it's somewhere between here, inside the shed, and over there. Honestly, it's so windy today, it's like 35 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 45. I wouldn't be surprised if the darn thing blew away. What are the odds? That is absolutely amazing, because I drove it from the shed. So I put it here, And then I moved it around the shed, and I drove it from the shed to the air compressor. And then I went out V-ripping last night, as you guys saw in the video. And my dad said he drove this thing around for like 20 minutes after that, moving stuff around. And it stayed on. I mean, granted, that's probably about the best spot you could have put it, but still, you'd think that, I mean, there's not much resistance on there. You know, you could try that again probably 100 times and it would never work out that well. I'm just glad I don't have to buy a new watch.